next video in PT 365 updated part 2 series, and under this video I'm covering social issues part, and coming to the first topic, draft national curriculum on draft national curriculum framework for school education. So what is this curriculum framework for school education? What are these different types of frameworks? Recently, in 2020, the government came up with new education policy, national education policy, and under it, it is aiming to create four different frameworks. First one is for a framework for early childhood care and education, and the other one is for school education. And the next one is for teacher education, and the other one is for adult education. Of these four different frameworks, the framework for school education was completed, and this is what we are talking as of now. Sorry, the framework for child care and education is already completed, and this is draft. Recently, a draft was prepared for the school education, and the rest pending are teacher education and adult education. So, what are these different frameworks? These different frameworks are nothing but a development of the textbooks and curriculum in accordance with the national education policy, new national education policy. So, these are prepared by the Ministry of Education, and that's it. They are going to change the pedagogy practices and the culture, all these in accordance with the new education policy. So the proposed curriculum changes, right now in this topic we are discussing about school education framework. Under the school education frameworks, there are a few changes proposed by the government. The changes are class-wise approach. Like for third class to, for children aged between 3 to 8, that is from preschool to class 2, the approach is by using toys, puzzles, and manipulatives, etc. So that is nothing but through interactive learning, kind of an interactive learning through toys and puzzles and also through games. Whereas for middle stage students, natural as well as social sciences are also introduced. And for those in standards of ninth and 10th class, they have to study 16 courses. And earlier there was different there was a separation between arts, humanities, and sciences. But now what they are doing is they are integrating all different subjects like humanities, math, science are also to be read by the students of the ninth and 10th class, and like that. And so it means the government is maintaining a no hard separation between these different subjects. And also regarding the academic year and school schedule, the academic year should be of 180 school days or 34 weeks. And also it calls for a for every week, out of 7 days, it gives a schedule of 5.5 day week schedule. And for every week, 29 hours of working hours for students with 40 period with periods of 40 minutes for those up to class 8, and for those up to class 9th is for 50 minutes. So it is nothing but in a year, for 1 year, the number of school days should be 180 school days or 34 weeks. Whereas coming to the week, in a week, it should be 5.5 day week schedule or 29 hours week schedule. And the class period for each and everyone, till 8th class, it should be up to 40 minutes. And further, above 8th class, that is from ninth class onwards, it should be 50 minutes for each class period. This is the new proposed school schedule in the national curriculum framework for the school education. And there are also some other recommendations like modular board examinations. Like earlier, for the board exams were to be conducted once in a year at the end of the year. But now it is now they are recommending to change the pattern, and also it also proposes to integrate ancient Indian knowledge systems like six pramanas. These pramanas like Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Arthapati, Anupalabdhi, and Sabda. And also Panchakosha system uh, is also being recommended by this framework to be integrated into the school education. Next one is National Credit Framework. National Credit Framework is recently released by the UGC, University Grants Commission. What is this National Credit Framework? National Credit Framework is nothing but throughout our education, from school education till high school education, whatever we study, uh, those are to be whatever the scores we get and everything are to be maintained in the form of credits. And these credits are to be integrated whatever the level it is, whether it is at school level or intermediate level or graduation level or post graduation level and everything. So it is nothing but one single meta framework to seamlessly integrate the credits earned through school education, higher education, even the vocational and skill education also. So the National Credit Framework. This National Credit Framework integrates these different types of educations under which are offered by the National Higher Education Quality Qualification Framework, Skill Qualification Framework, National Curriculum Framework. So this National Credit Framework provides guidelines for the schools, colleges, and universities in adopting the system. And some of the highlights of the National Credit Framework are the National Credit Framework divides the education into 8 levels. Okay, where in school education comprises of 1 to 4 levels, and higher education consists of fifth to eighth levels. And next, the also the integration of the earned credits, like credits earned throughout the schools, colleges, and vocational and skill education are to be maintained, and there is also multiple entry and exit options for a student. That means there is no compulsion to get a degree. For example, for a degree. To get a degree, they have to complete 3 years. But now, with the credit framework, there is no compulsion to complete the 3 years to get a degree certificate. Whether you can study till first year of your degree, and you can just exit the college. You'll be still having the credits, whatever you have earned till that level. So, and also all the collected credits will be stored in the academic bank of credits. And under this national credit framework, the all this school, college, vocational, and skill education, total number of learning hours is fixed at 1200 hours per year. Next, right to health. Recently, Rajasthan came with a law. It is the first Indian state to come with a law enacting right to health. So this right to health comes under the Article 21. Article 21 is nothing but right to life. Uh, so this right to health, under this right to health act of the Rajasthan, so it expands healthcare through water, proper water, drinking water, sanitation, and also environmental conditions, and also education. All these different parameters are considered, and these are few other initiatives taken by the government of India for achieving the right to health, and other rights which come under Article 21 are right to food and right to clean environment and right to emergency and medical aid. And rare diseases. Rare diseases are those diseases which are, the name itself says that, which are very rare. So the central government recently exempted all the foods and drugs for rare diseases which are imported by the people from customs duty. So there will be no customs duty on those goods and those foods and drugs which will be imported by the patients who are in need for curing the rare diseases. So for this, to get this exemption, what they need to do is they have to get a certificate, and the certificate they should avail from Central Director General, Deputy Director General, and Director General of State Health Services or District Medical Officer or Civil Surgeon. So they have to get a certificate from these people and then they can claim that exemption on customs duty. And what are the initiatives taken by the government of India in regarding the rare diseases? National policy for rare diseases was launched in the year 2021. So under this national policy for rare diseases, so what the government do is it will provide some monetary incentives also, and we'll look into that into detail. Let us look into the other things which recently the government added in the 2021 policy. It added six more rare diseases into various group of the rare diseases. So these are the six diseases. And recently the government also um, launched the production linked incentive scheme. So for pharmaceuticals, under this orphan drugs are nothing but those drugs which are used for curing the or treating the rare diseases. These are also included. So, and there is also a digital portal for crowdfunding because few rare diseases can really cost too much, even for treatment or for drugs. The cost will be too much. So that's why the government also launched a crowdfunding portal. And there is also a national registry which is maintained by the ICMR. And so these rare diseases, which as per the definition of a World Health Organization, are those lifelong diseases or disorder with a prevalence of one or less per thousand population. So it is that rare. Next, about 7,000 rare diseases are known, and of those, 80% of rare diseases are genetic, and they are chronic. Next, the 29th February is considered as a Rare Diseases Day. So, this National Policy on Rare Diseases 2021, according to this, the rare diseases are categorized into three groups. Under this group one are those diseases which are one-time curative treatment. Only if you give treatment for once, then it can be cured. And the second group is diseases requiring lifelong treatment. Okay, and they are relatively of the low cost. And group 3 consists of those very high cost and lifelong therapy. So what the government is providing is also providing financial support up to 50 lakhs to the patients from any category, be it group 1, group 2 or group 3. And it also has promoted research and development for diagnosis and treatment of the rare diseases. Next, social protection in India. The According to there was a report released by the International Labour Organization and the UNICEF. The report titled "More Than a Billion Reasons: The Urgent Need to Build Universal Social Protection for Children." So this was the second joint report from the ILO and UNICEF regarding the children. So regarding the children, that too for social protection of children. This is the second joint report. So, the current status of the social protection in India, when we look into the social protection status in India, India spends only 8.6% of the GDP compared to the global average of 12.9%. That means India spends very less in social protection, and according to the ILO, International Labour Organization report, World Social Protection Report, according to it, only 24.4% of Indians have some kind of the social protection. That means the rest 76% are not having social protection. And what are the different initiatives which were taken by the government of India for providing social protection? For social insurance, for social security coverage like Employees Security Insurance Corporation, EPFO, and pension schemes and medical insurance schemes, maternity insurance schemes, and for social assistance. Food and nutrition programs, for example, Poshan, Housing for All, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, self-employment programs like MG Narega, or wage employment programs like MG Narega, and self-employment programs such as Mudra Yojana, and social welfare schemes launched by the government of India also include some of them like PM Kisan and Pradhan Mantri Cares for Children scheme and National Social Assistance Program, etc. So, what is this UNICEF? UNICEF was established in the year 1946, aftermath of the World War II, and this UNICEF is the objectives of the UNICEF are to protect the rights of the children and to expand the opportunities of the children. So, India is also a member of this. India is also a member of this UNICEF, and it's some of the reports released by the UNICEF are World's Children Triple Threat Report, and UNICEF is guided by the Convention on the Rights of the Children. Other important news: triple test for surrogacy. Triple test for surrogacy in India. Coming to surrogacy, commercial surrogacy is not allowed. Only altruistic surrogacy is allowed. What is altruistic surrogacy? Altruistic surrogacy is nothing but helping someone without any monetary benefit. Earlier, it was commercial surrogacy was allowed in our country. Commercial surrogacy means it is nothing but renting womb of some women or some lady for surrogacy. It includes a monetary benefit. Commercial surrogacy includes monetary benefit, whereas altruistic surrogacy does not include any monetary benefit. But the intending couple, whoever they are willing to uh, go for surrogacy, they can provide insurance for the woman who is carrying their child, the fetus, or and they can also look after the medical expenses of the women. But other than that, other payments are not allowed, because if they pay or give any monetary benefit, that comes under the commercial surrogacy, which is banned. So this Karnataka High Court, what it gave a triple test for surrogacy, like whether an intending couple they are eligible to go for surrogacy or not. For that, it gave three tests, like genetic test, and physical test and economy test. Next, assessment of child suspects. Assessment of child suspects. Recently, NCPCR, National Commission for the Protection of the Child Rights, issued guidelines for assessment of the child suspects, and these guidelines are in compliance with the Court directive, uh, Supreme Court guidelines, which enable Juvenile Justice Board to conduct preliminary assessment, like whether a child who is a minor, if committed some heinous offences or something, whether they should be treated as a criminal or not, whether they should be treated as a minor or not in that instance. So, regarding those direct guidelines, the NCPCR recently gave, and although the Juvenile Justice Act defines, according to the Juvenile Justice Act, a child is a person who has not completed 18 years of age. That means until the age of 18 years, they are considered as a child. So, and it was amended in 2015, wherein it added a provision that a child in an age group of 16 to 18 years could be tried as an adult in case of heinous offences. Okay, if that child in the age gap of 16 to 18 years, if they commit any heinous offences, then they can be tried as adults. So this, whether they can be tried as a child or an adult, uh, is determined by Juvenile Justice Board. And India also launched a digital health platform, Teco Plus, and even electronic vaccine intelligence network for enhancing the data entry efficiency. Next, New India Literacy Program. New India Literacy Program under the Navabharat Saksharta Karyakramam, that is New India Literacy Program. First FL First FL was held across 10 states and UTs to assess the basic reading, writing, and numeracy skills of the neoliterates. Who is considered as a neoliterate? Neoliterate is an adult or an adult who did not or could not make use of the available education opportunities on time, and who at the later stage acquired the skills of the literacy through formal or non-formal approaches. So, when during the age of education they didn't complete it, but later at later age they acquired the skills of the literacy. They are considered as neo-literates. So this FLNAT, first FLNAT was held across 10 states and UTs. So, neo-literates of the age group of 15 years and above participated in this FLNet and this new India literacy program, Nav Bharat Saksharta Karikram. It is a centrally sponsored scheme, and it is approved for the implementation during the financial year of 2022 to 27, that is for 5 years. And the scheme is in alignment with the national education policy of 2020, and the scheme targets all those neo-literates of age 15 years and above in the country. And there is also a special focus on the females and those also educationally backward states. So the scheme is to be implemented through volunteer teachers and students of schools and higher educational institutions. And the target for 2022 to 27, that is for 5 years, is 5 crore learners. 5 crore learners by using online teaching, learning and assessment systems. By using OTLAS. Using this platform, the target is 5 crore learners for 5 years, that is for financial year 2022 to 27. Next, this NILP, New India Literacy Program, was launched, which is a centrally sponsored scheme, was in collaboration with an NIC, NCRT, and NIS. And Sangatansa Samriddhi's campaign. Sangatansa Samriddhi campaign is nothing but it is a campaign by Ministry of Rural Development, which is an awareness campaign on the benefits of Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihoods Mission. Next, World Bank program for India's health sector. Recently, the World Bank signed two complementary loans of $500 million each, that is total $1,000 million for following World Bank supported program for India. What are those two programs? PHSPP and EHSDP. PHSPP is nothing but Public Health Systems for Pandemic Preparedness Program, which is to prepare India's surveillance system to detect or report any epidemics, okay, to build the institutional capacity for public health institutions. And the next one is EHSDP, that is Enhanced Health Service Delivery Program, which is to strengthen the service delivery and also improve the quality of the care by supporting the national quality assurance standard certification. And through this, that is $1,000 million, that is $1 billion. Through this, the World Bank will support Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, PM Abhim. It also supports PM Abhim, which is a centrally sponsored scheme, was launched in the year 2021-2022 till 2025 to 26. That is also for 5 years, which is a central sector scheme. Okay, central sector scheme for the implementation of the Atmanirbhar Bharat package. That means the scheme PM Abhim came post COVID-19. So you can all the schemes which came post COVID-19 are mostly uh, are mostly vocal about the Atmanirbharta, that is self-reliance. So this World Bank also support health service delivery in 7 states, which are Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Meghalaya, Odisha, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, and Uttar Pradesh. And Swachhotsav 2023. Swachhotsav was launched by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs on International Zero Waste Day, which is on March 3rd. Okay, the first International Zero Waste Day has been jointly launched by the UNEP and UN Habitat, and this Swachhotsav was launched by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So the aim of this Swachhotsav is garbage-free cities, and it's also this Swachhotsav is also having a target of attaining 1,000 cities to become a three-star garbage-free cities by 2024. So the target of the Swachhotsav is by 2024, nearly 1,000 cities should attain three-star rating garbage-free cities. So this comes under the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0. So what is this star rating program? Different star rating programs are nothing but first there is a self declaration of a state, and there will be for it will be followed by third party assessment, and then the certification will be given by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Like that, three-star rating, it is promoting at least a three-star rating. And the key achievements so far, the key achievements under Swachh Bharat Mission Urban are Urban India has become open defecation free (ODF), and the waste processing in India has also gone up by nearly four times from 17% in 2014 to 75% in 2023. So the about Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0, it is nothing but it is a centrally sponsored scheme, and it is by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And here, when coming to the Swachh Bharat Mission, Swachh Bharat Mission Rural, it is implemented by which ministry? So it is implemented by Ministry of Jal Shakti, Ministry of Jal Shakti. Next, women icons leading Swachhata wins awards. Wins awards are given by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. This is the first time, first edition of Wins awards are announced, and the awards are to recognize the initiatives of urban sanitation and waste management by the women-led organizations or individual women. That is to encourage the women in attaining the sanitation and waste management goals. Swachh Sujal Shakti Samman 2023. Swachh Sujal Shakti Samman 2023 was uh, launched. It was a 36 women wash champions across 36 women received this Swachh Sujal Shakti Samman award by President of India. And this event was organized by the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Okay, next, so these awards are given for those women who did an exceptional work in implementing Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin and Jal Jeevan Mission and Jal Shakti Abhiyan Catch the Rain. So, like here, you can see Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin, and it is given by the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Okay. Next, marketing and logistics development for promotion of the tribal products from Northeast region. PTP-NER. It is a central sector scheme launched by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs for the benefit of the scheduled tribes of the northeastern regions. And it is nothing but under this initiative, tribal artisans melas are being conducted, and this initiative is also with co-partnership of NEHDC and Indian Post and or the Northeastern State Development State Government Departments. Next, midday meal pulses. Midday meal pulses. Minister of Education came with an initiative to include pulses pulses under PM portion. For these pulses, it directed the states to procure those pulses from the NAFED. So the government of India maintains buffer stocks of pulses through NAFED. Okay, this is a cooperative. And center asked this for ensuring economy of scale and assured subsidized rates in the interest of the students. So this NAFED maintains a buffer stock. So while procuring the pulses, the Ministry of Education asks the states to get those from the NAFED so that they can get at subsidized rates. However, earlier detailed guidelines issued to the states and UTs in the 2022 were silent on the purchase of the pulses from the NAFED. Earlier, according to the earlier guidelines, according to which only packed dals, salt and spices, condiments and etc. those with egg mark quality should be purchased and no loose ingredients should be bought. But now the Ministry of Education said that you can purchase from NAFED also. What is this PM portion? PM portion is a nothing but centrally sponsored scheme, and earlier it was known as National Scheme for Midday Meal in Schools or simply Midday Meal Scheme. This midday meal scheme is now called as PM Portion. That's it. So this midday meal scheme was first launched in the year 1995. Okay, and it was inspired from the Tamil Nadu's scheme, same similar initiative. Okay, next Jigyasa. Jigyasa is an initiative. It is a program by CSIR IIP, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Indian Institute of Petroleum, and this program was launched by CSIR IIP See, you can see CSIR and IAP, Indian Institute of Petroleum, as part of one week, one lab campaign. So under this Jigyasa program, what the CSIR and IAP are intending to promote is to inculcate that scientific temper among the students by through programs like Student Scientist Connect programs. And in 2017, the CSIR signed an MOU with the Kendriya Vidyalayas on Jigyasa with the objective of teaching the scientific temperament among the school students and thereby inculcating a scientific social responsibility among the children. Um so, the scientific social responsibility is nothing but a moral and ethical obligation of the scientific community to give back the benefits whatever they have learned and important reports in the news. State of World Population Report 2023. The State of World Population Report 2023 was released by the United Nations Population Fund Population Fund and UNFPA. And the title of the report SOWP 2023 is 8 billion lives, infinite possibilities. India is the most populous country. India is the most populous country according to this report, and of which 68% of the population are of the age group of 15 to 64 years, and the life expectancy of the females is more than that of the males. For females, the life expectancy is 74 years, whereas for the males, it is 71 years only, and the total fertility rate of India is 2.0. Next, World Development Report 2023. So, in this report, while going through these reports, it is just only important to understand the patterns. Like, for example, life expectancy rate for women is greater than for the male, and nearly 68% of the population are youth, that is 15 to 64 years. And India also got a total fertility rate of 2.0. So that's it. And World Development Report 2023. World Development Report 2023 is released by the World Bank. And the title of the report is Migrants, Refugees and Societies. These titles are also important. For this State of World Population Report, the title is 8 Billion Lives, Infinite Possibilities. Whereas for the World Development Report, the title is Migrants, Refugees and Societies. And it categorizes the migrants into four types. Those refugees with skills in demand, economic migrants with skills that match with the demand, and distressed migrants and refugees. And World Happiness Report 2023. World Happiness Report 2023 is released by the UNSDSN, UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network. And this report considers different variables like healthy life expectancy, GDP per capita, social support, low corruption, generosity in a community, and freedom to make life decisions. Based on these different indicators, it prepares World Happiness Report. And the goal is to identify the key determinants of the well-being. Like you can go earlier, the well-being was considered based on the income, based on the determinants of the income, but that approach was changed. Like you can, if you can remember, the capability approach was given by Amartya Sen. And like this, in on the similar lines, World Happiness Report was also launched, like not only monetary benefits, not only based on GDP per capita, other parameters such as freedom to make decisions or low corruption, social support, etc., should also be considered for a healthy well-being. So, based on this, the ranking of the happiness was based on a 3-year average period. Okay, 3-year average period, and the top three countries are Finland, Denmark, and Iceland. As it is, the Nordic countries always top in this World Happiness Report, and India has been ranked at 126th place among the 137 countries. 126th place, and India is also ranked below its neighbors China, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh, except Pakistan. So, and Bhutan is not listed in the World Happiness Report 2023. And this World's Sustainable Development Solutions Network (SDSN) is under which was launched in the year 2012 under the UN Secretary General, and it publishes annual reports like Sustainable Development Report, World Happiness Report, and Women, Business and the Law 2023 report. This Women, Business and Law Report 2023 was launched by the World Bank. Earlier, there was also another report. Just now we have gone through, which was launched by World Bank. It is nothing but World Development Report, also by World Bank. And this Women, Business and the Law 2023 report was also launched by again World Bank. According to this, women enjoy only 77% of the legal rights that men do, and it would take at least 50 years to approach legal gender equality everywhere. And India scored 74.4 out of the 100. So, and different next these are the different steps which are taken by the government of India. And next, women and men in India 2022. This women and men in India 2022, that means India specific report. When it is nothing but India specific report, so must be released by some India specific ministry or organization or something. So it is launched by the, released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and this is an annual report. And according to this, the sex ratio in India is 9. In 2021 is 945, which is expected to reach to 952 by 2036. That means there will be an improvement by 2036. And also the life expectancy also reached increased for both females and males. And also the infant mortality rate has also been reduced, and the literacy rates are also increased, and the labor force participation rate which was also increased, but still the females lack in the labor force participation with a meager participation of only 24.8 percentage, whereas for the male the labor force participation rate is 57.3%. And the status of the women in agri-food systems status of the women in agri-food systems is launched released by Food and Agriculture Organization. And next, State of the World's Children Report. State of the World's Children Report. Earlier we have seen the similar report, State of the World Population Report. State of the World Population Report by UNFPA, whereas the State of the World Children Report. State of the World Children Report was launched or released by the UNICEF. According to it, it presents an agenda to put childhood vaccination first. And also 98% of the population in India currently perceive vaccines are important for the population. And India was among the top 20 countries with the largest number of zero dose children. So zero dose children are nothing but children with uh, no vaccination. So this is alarming. See, India is among the top countries with zero dose children. Next, Triple Threat Report. Triple Threat Report was released by the UNICEF. UNICEF, and according to it, triple burden of water, sanitation, and hygiene threats are faced by the children. So, according to the UNICEF, triple burden is defined as less than 50% access to at least basic water or sanitation services, and within top 20 countries with highest burden of death attributed to unsafe food wash among children under 5, and within top 25% of the countries facing highest risk of climate and environmental hazards in UNICEF's Children's Climate Risk Index. And unsafe wash led to 4 lakh children deaths of under age 5 each year. And triple burden is heavily concentrated in 10 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Next, 2023 Global Food Policy Report. 2023 Global Food Policy Report is released by the International Food Policy Research Institute. Okay, and nutrition crisis in adolescent girls and women. Nutrition crisis in adolescent girls and women is released by the UNICEF, and the report is titled as Undernourished and Overlooked: A Global Nutrition Crisis in Adolescent Girls and Women. And the report examines the nutritional status of the adolescent girls and women under the reproductive age of 59 to 49 years. The key findings of the report are South Asia and Sub-Sahara. South Asian and Sub-Saharan Africa are home to nearly 68% of the adolescent girls and women with an underweight and 60% with anemia. So, this South Asian and Sub-Saharan Africa are having nearly 60% of women with anemia and 68% of the adolescent girls and women are underweight. That's it. Next, Global Education Monitoring Report. Global Education Monitoring Report is released by the UNESCO. And this is nothing but on comprehensive sexuality education. Global Education Monitoring Report according to it, only 17% of the countries are having comprehensive sexuality education, so regarding sex education. And also, the contraceptive issues are covered in school curriculum only in two-thirds of the countries. And some terms like digital nomad with person who works remotely while traveling for leisure, especially when having no fixed or permanent address. Pink washing, promoting civil liberties of LGBTQ community, but superficial, and queer baiting. You can similar question, if you can remember, was asked in the prelims of the year prelims of the year 2022, and the question was about greenwashing. So, like this, these terms are also important. Okay, pink washing, superficially promoting the rights of the LGBTQ, and queer baiting, act to lure the LGBTQ fans. Okay, without explicit inclusion of such qualities or relationship. Rage framing or rage baiting. That means that is a manipulative tactic. Okay, to elicit outrage with the goal of increasing internet traffic. That is nothing but for self promotion or something like that. Okay, okay, this is regarding the social issues, and next I'll be covering the remaining environment and science and tech topics also as soon as possible. Okay, okay then, thank you, bye.